first video of 2020. And somehow I've managed to sort of slide in mentioning Captain Marvel in this video. Oh, man. First of all, let me give a big shout out to all the supporters. This year has been crazy for me in terms of growth as a content creator. Certainly when it comes to comic book commentary, I've just grown so much in the year. And I really do appreciate you guys' support. And I wanted to get that out the way. You know, we got some big aspirations going into this year, 2020. New video studio. If you've been paying attention to the live streams, you know about that. I'm not going to go into detail with that. Just pay attention to the live streams. But we got some big aspirations, man. We're going to be doing a lot of different things. We're going to be beefing more so up. You can say beasting too, but we're going to be beefing up our, let's just say the production, right? In terms of what's going down with the content here. But we got to spend this video talking about Kevin Feige, right? Kevin Feige, I know he has like a new title. I know he was like president at some point of Marvel Studios, but now he's much bigger than that. His influence now extends beyond the movies and now reaches into the comic books as well. But speaking at the New York Film Academy, someone asked him specifically, hey, who is the strongest hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Now, as being reported, I have to make sure to make that clear. He says, and he brings up Wanda. From my knowledge, to what I've picked up, Wanda wasn't brought up. It was Wanda, as in Scarlet Witch, wasn't brought up. He brought her up in response to this question. So he says, I think it's interesting if you look at Endgame, Wanda was going to kill Thanos. That's as scared as I've ever seen Thanos. And if he hadn't said decimate my entire team to get her off of me, I think she would have done it. So there's a couple of things we got to take from this, right? Not only does it confirm what I've long talked about and what I've long discussed, right again, considering what happened with Captain Marvel, its ridiculous placement in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, how unnecessary it is, how unneeded it was, and the fact that the Marvel Cinematic Universe already had a powerful hero that they could have got behind if they were looking for a more stronger female hero to center something around during this climactic part of this phase, it should have been her. It would have made the most sense, not some random character that you shoehorn into the universe, and then she doesn't even, you make it seem and through your promotional schemes and what you say as if she's going to be very powerful and very important, and then she only shows up at the beginning of Endgame and at the end of Endgame, and really she has no bearing on the outcome of what happened in the movie. So she's not necessary. We were conned into acting as if this character was going to be important, and she wasn't, which means, again, I was right. It was just a shoehorn. They just wanted to make sure that they got as much viewership as they possibly could on that character, and they shoehorned her and sandwiched her in between the biggest climax, or more so the biggest cliffhanger, and right before the end game, no pun intended. But this is interesting because he brings up Wanda, right, basically suggesting she is the strongest one. She almost killed Thanos, which she did. I thought that was a cool little scene. Just to sort of validate the point I just made, I did a video about this. We're going to rewatch what he said. It's the same man that said this.
I thought it was the right time to finally introduce Captain Marvel to the world. She's one of the most popular characters in our comics. She's one of the most powerful characters in the comics and will be the most powerful character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay, so let's backtrack, right? Same guy. It's the same man. It is the same man. This is, unless they cloned him and it's another Kevin Feige. This is the same guy. Peddled this lie that she was one of the most popular characters in the comics. But he then said she's going to be the most powerful character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then this fool's mentioning Wanda. Wait a minute. What? Kevin Feige, pick one. But again, it's not just about what he said and comparing, let's say, or with me, comparing Scarlet Witch to Captain Marvel. It's, look, I get it. He's got to sell this film. He's probably trying to sell the upcoming show that's going to be on Disney Plus, if I'm not mistaken. So he's trying to sell these things, right? And that's maybe what he was trying to do, and some people will get to make that argument. But he lied. You think Kevin Feige didn't know what was going on with these movies? He lied. He had to sell Captain Marvel, but he had to be dishonest to do it. If we're discussing a character that has long been a part of the universe, and you're going to mention her being being the strongest, you were selling lies, man. And you can argue again, it's marketing. He has to sell this film. It's coming out. Captain Marvel's coming out. So he has to just say the right things, even if they contradict each other, right? And this is what I was talking about how some of the things that they said surrounding the character was odd. It was, I would argue, factually incorrect when you consider this character and how she's been handled in the comic books, Carol Danvers, that is, and some of the things that he was saying, and they were just really gassing this character up going into this movie. Nobody really knew about the character aside from people that just read comics. She didn't really have any big major appearances prior to this decade. She was in X-Men for a little bit, yes, so as Miss Marvel, and then she shows up in a game or two. But prior to the decade, you know what I mean? Prior to the last 10 years, prior to that, she doesn't really have anything other than that X-Men thing in a game or two. Like, she never was a prominent character, and that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that being, you can be a good support character, and it can be epic when you show up, but still not be a major character. You can still be powerful. Sentry, for example, is one of the most powerful heroes, but he's not like a primary character. Never been. And he never will be. He never should be. But he is like one of the strongest ones. So, now granted, Captain Marvel is none of that. Never has been any of that. Never has been depicted as anything like that. So I thought it was weird when he said that. But absolutely, Scarlet Witch, if you're not going to go with Thor, or Hulk, right, which is weird. I don't know. Again, they have weird depictions of these characters. If those two aren't the strongest, then you'd have to say Wanda. You'd have to say Scarlet Witch. She's a very powerful character, considering that she can alter reality and all the things that, House of M, everybody that reads comics knows. But I take issue with Feige lying. Hey, you might think, oh, well, it's a small lie, but is it really? Because what he said was not true about Captain Marvel. He just contradicted that with his own words. But when you consider some of the backlash that, for example, I got when I was talking about the character going into the film and stuff like that, I feel like I have every right to point out the fact that he's a liar, or he's at least lying. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I? If I'm gonna be right, I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna be right. That ain't on me. That's on him. I didn't tell him to get out there on the campaign trail telling people that she's the most powerful character and one of the most powerful characters or popular characters in the comic books and going to be the most powerful character. He said he's going to be the most powerful character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That completely contradicts what Scarlet Witch did in Endgame, the movie right after that movie, which is what he brought up. Oh, man. Look, man, my Marvel Cinematic Universe did a great job for a decade building up. You got to credit them. I've talked about how Marvel did a great job. When it comes to marketing that movie, Captain Marvel, they did a great job. They did just a phenomenal job. They sold it. They placed it in a way, in a between, just a perfect placement. Any movie, again, Ant-Man, there was never any implications as far as like that being important. They never promoted it like that. Plus, it was still it came out in theaters during the same promotional cycle as I think what's his name. Endgame was still in theaters when that movie came out. When Ant-Man came out, but they never tried to make it seem like he was just an uber powerful hero that was going to have this big time part in what was going to happen with the whole Thanos thing, because it looked like he won. But with Captain Marvel, it's the complete opposite, right? We have Fury Page, them telling you guys like Feige saying she's gonna be the most powerful character. So it's like, whoa, you gotta go see this movie because you gotta learn about this character. Who is she? Why is she so strong? Where has she been? What's gonna happen? You gotta learn about all of that, and they set it up perfect. They sold it. Great job. Kevin Feige still lied.